Hello everyone and welcome to the last interview before the Anything But Vanilla event. We have a great guest for today. It's going to be an excellent interview. I'm really looking forward to this one. Today's guest is going to be someone who's been performing exceptionally well at this speedrun. Ever since the early versions of 2.1, we saw this person at the top and making some interesting discoveries and just consistently performing. And this was the case. Even in 2.2, we saw him right at the top of the leaderboards, even in the early game when there wasn't many resources around. Just an absolutely exceptional runner, honestly. We ended up seeing this runner end up going on to do very well with the Sugoi speedrun. A very interesting mod pack. I think a lot of people are still waiting for this mod pack to be developed for the 2.2. Yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah, I know it's sort of out on an alternate EXE, but yeah, this was a very revolutionizing mod pack. I don't think a lot of people realize how limiting version 2.1 was, but this was definitely one of the earlier adapters, and yeah, definitely a fantastic speedrunner. And also helped collaborate with the Robobot's creation. Robobot, if you don't know, it's a bot in our Discord channel which we use almost daily pretty much to verify speedruns. Helps people turn their runs, their replays into GIFs or MP4s, and it's just an absolutely exceptional tool. And let's not forget that in his later life after SRB2 or around the same time, we don't know, he speedruns quite a lot of games. We have Sonic Adventure DX and a lot of other sort of Caesar related games like Sonic Adventure 2 and whatnot, performing absolutely exceptionally with these games as well. Like, there's just, if you were to watch these live, you would be thinking that he's just playing a testback, but it's real somehow, some way. And this is to say, I'm of course talking about the exceptional guest today, which is Refrag. How are you doing today?
Hello. Well, I'm doing good. I'm kind of just chilling here and listening to that pretty awesome intro. Yeah.
Yeah, what can I say? I mean, I think your reputation definitely speaks for itself. You've been around for quite a while. I was wondering, by the way, like I think you started speedrunning a little bit later with SRB2, maybe towards the end of its life. But how did you end up finding this game in the first place?
Okay, so I think like a lot of people, I found out about this game. I guess it was while I was a teenager. I probably just stumbled upon it on like YouTube or something. I don't remember the exact story, but yeah, I know that I tried it out. I probably played a little bit of the solo campaign. Oh yeah. I should also mention it was on the 2.1 version, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I was playing on the 2.0 version. I think it was 2.1. But anyway, I did kind of just stumble upon it, I guess. And I remember back in the day, I was mostly playing multiplayer and just having some fun with capture the flag lobbies. I think that was a pretty cool time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. It's a shame having to put up with a lot of that lag, but I think a lot of us just got used to it, didn't we?
It's pretty funny because I guess back in the day I didn't really realize because I was mostly playing these multiplayer lobbies. But once I really got into the solo campaign of the game, then I realized, oh my god, like there's so much less lag, and then if you go back to a multiplayer game after that, you're like, bro, this is unplayable.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't one of those people who really played a lot of those lobbies because, like, I really couldn't handle the lag unless I was, like, the host, because if you were hosting a server, you didn't get any of that, but...
Yeah,
it's true, A lot less lag when you're playing just a normal campaign. So with that being said, yeah, I think a lot of us ended up getting into SRB2, by the way, with the, like, just teenage years, just randomly stumbling upon it. But, how did you end up getting into speedrunning as a whole then?
Okay, so this is actually quite an interesting one, I guess. So I got into speedrunning. I didn't start by just speedrunning myself. I started by watching. It was some French speedrun team, I guess, called La Boulangerie. Basically, like the bakery or something. But anyway, and I remember there was someone in there that was doing a bunch of Sonic Adventure DX speedruns, and I was like, "Oh, Sonic Adventure, that's a lovely game and stuff." I like seeing speedruns. I mean, I like seeing that game, and so I was like, "Let's check out what the speedrun looks like and stuff." So I started watching this guy running Sonic Adventure DX, but eventually the thing is. I guess he was more interested in other games at that time. And so I was like, I think I remember asking in the Discord, like, oh, hey, when are you going to get back at Sonic Adventure DX and stuff? And there was this other guy that was like, hey, we have a Discord server with, well, talking about like Sonic Adventure DX and stuff. And at first I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know. I don't know, in my brain I didn't even realize that it was a speedrun Discord. So I just joined and was like, yeah, I mean, since I just love Sonic Adventure DX in general, I can just join and see what's up. And then I quickly realized that it was mostly about speedrunning, and I was like, what if we just tried it, you know? And yeah, I watched an old tutorial by now by a certain someone, and I got into I got into speedrunning that way. I guess I started learning the run, and I was obviously really bad at it at first. I think my first run was barely a sub-hour on the Sonic story.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was valid, because like I died on Egg Viper, but at the time the auto splitter was kind of messed up, so it would still split anyway. Anyway,
yeah, and we were doing like real-time speed back then, I think.
yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure if I joined right before IGT or right when it got introduced, but it was somewhere around there. So I've put down like a little note just of I guess some time periods of when everything happened. And yeah, this was around July 2017 when I got into static speedrunning, basically.
That's pretty interesting.
So I mean, there you go. That's the story. Yeah.
It makes sense that your first speedrun would be quite bad if it was by watching a tutorial by me. That's just a lesson, you know. Just watch anyone else.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but Sonic Adventure though, it's one of them games. I think if people haven't played it, it's just got such a nice movement. It's definitely worth playing. Did you play SADX then when you were like younger, and then just ended up downloading it again?
Yeah, I think this was like one of my first real PC games, and I did actually have the OG PC disc version, and I remember just I was playing it a lot, and it was just a really good time every time I was playing it. So yeah, I guess it's part of my childhood in a way. And fun fact, at the time I was playing with a keyboard.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I remember asking in the speedrun Discord that I joined, is controller better for speedrunning this game or not? I legitimately didn't even know that keyboard and mouse was just awful for this game. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I suppose it was probably a wake-up call when everyone was like, what? Why are you using keyboard?
Yeah, I can't exactly remember what happened at that specific time, but yeah, I was super pretty fun fact, I think.
Oh yeah, no, that's hilarious. I remember at the time there was a runner called THC, and he actually ran on keyboard.
Yeah, no, he has insane times on keyboard. And even when you consider that these are pretty old runs, he has like really good times.
Yeah, I don't know how he was like really consistent, and he even like said he'd straight up just preferred it that way, which is just, I don't know, that's insane. But I think nowadays that keyboard's the way to go.
Definitely.
Now, obviously, you ran 2.1 and 2.2, and as well as Sugoi, which was obviously 2.1 only until very recently. Which would you say is like your favorite time period for speedrunning this game?
I mean, it's gotta be when 2.2 released, right? Like,
yeah.
when 2.2 released, so yeah, it's actually been 6 years now. Can you believe it?
That's crazy, yeah. I was looking back at the leaderboard to see when you ran 2.1, and I was like, whoa, that's actually so long ago.
But yeah, I mean, when 2.2 released, we were all just, trying to find some strats, just enjoying the new release, and I don't know, just having a lot of fun trying to push this game to its limits. And it was just a fun time, and also the community, where we saw Levin come on the game, and a lot of other people as well started speedrunning in 2.2. But yeah, no, it's gotta be this time here, because yeah, it's just sick when 2.2 released.
I agree. I think adding the slopes and everything in the game just looked so much better as well. And also, I don't know if you play much modded characters, but like modded characters got way better once 2.2 came out.
So yeah, I didn't really dabble too much with character mods. Mostly it was just regular Sonic with maybe the level pads, but I'm not really that into character mods myself.
No, that's fair. Also, we got a question in chat. First, I've got to ask a question about that. What is Juber Dash?
Okay, look. So, it's a game that I discovered. Basically, the developers of this game got it on Discord through the Discord activities.
Oh, that's cool.
And I discovered the game this way, right? Like a lot of people actually. And I don't know, I just kind of started playing it with friends. At some point, I was like, I started doing some public games, and now I'm kind of just addicted. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's a funny game, and I'm actually making a bunch of cool friends from this game, and yeah, just having a lot of cool time. So yeah, it's a bit of a silly game. It's basically Fall Guys, but in 2D. But it's, I don't know, I like it. I think it's really funny.
I appreciate Mako for typing the actual name. I got owned a bit by Ethereal asking the question,
right.
like Goober Dash. Okay, there we go. But yeah, is it one to check out then? Would you recommend it to the chat?
Yeah, I would, honestly. I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like, it's probably a game that you're gonna play for like a few minutes and then be like, yeah, okay, this was cool, but might not play it more. But once you start going, like, I don't know, there's just a bunch of depth to the game, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. No, that sounds like a good time. I know there's definitely been similar sort of games. I saw a bunch of the people in that community running a game a while ago. I think it was like Firewing or something like this.
Firewing 64, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that take off. That was kind of similar, right? It was this sort of smaller game that just took off with the speedrunning crowd.
I mean, I wouldn't say it took off. It's mostly just, I guess, the Seymour group chat and Pastor Over the Right, who I think he just found the game through H.io and was like, this game looks cool, and he just kind of tried to speedrun it.
Yeah, and then like that group, the Seymour group chat became like I think the only moderators for it on speedrun.com.
Yeah, yeah.
Just such a dedicated little fan base.
And then we abandoned the game like a month after.
Love that.
Yep.
So I think you've obviously been speedrunning Sonic primarily. What do you think stuck out about this character?
I mean, you know, he's the main character. I don't know. Honestly, I just like playing Sonic in Sonic games. But that's not to say that the other characters are not good or anything. It's just that's just what attracts me the most, I guess. I've also SRB2. I did also do some Tales runs. And also some 200 Emblems run, where you play as basically every character. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was quite a longer run, wasn't it? When you tried that
Oh
one?
yeah, the 200 Emblems run. Yeah.
What inspired that, by the way? Because obviously that was, you know, a lot longer than anything else you'd speedrun at the time, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the first time I was doing any sort of run that was like more than 2 hours, probably.
Yeah, a lot longer than 2 hours.
I think this just came from Lemon and I. We were like, we want to do a 200 Emblems run at some point, but we knew it was gonna be like super hard and everything. But we were like, we really want to do it, and of course, whenever we did it, we did a race for the occasion, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, we did prepare quite a bit for it. I remember I did, I guess, fine. Like I finished in like 4.5 hours. I was pretty exhausted, obviously, but it was fine. But I think Levin had a bit of a harder time. But I mean,
yeah, I remember seeing this like almost 6-hour speedrun.
Yeah, surely he can, just do another 200 Emblems run and get a better time. Right?
Yeah, that's what people in chat are saying. I think that's a sign, you know.
I did spend a lot of channel points for you to do a 200 Emblems run. I cannot speak today. This is awesome.
I love that. Yeah, that happens to me every time I interview someone. Words just elude me.
Yeah. That's
fair. Obviously 2.2 brought out quite a lot of like extra cast for the game. There's me, I can't speak either, and a lot of modded characters, as we said before. Have you been interested in any of those?
Well, once again, the modded characters I haven't really played. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as 2.1. I didn't really play modded characters. I guess I did play a little bit of Mystic Realm Community Edition, that has a modified Sonic. But I don't know if you would count that as a modded character, right? I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that Sonic was actually a lot more fun than I was expecting.
Yeah,
and
it's a pretty good alternative to the Fox, I think.
Yeah, because when we ended up obviously doing a little community event on that mod, and the creator ended up like changing lots of stuff just off our feedback. So that's one of the things I thought was really awesome to see, you know, just how in tune he was with the community. Yeah, no, I really like that mod. I would recommend that one. Definitely an interesting alternative to Sonic's Fock as well, having that little wall bounce thing. Oh, that's fair.
Yep.
Now, okay, so I think this one's mainly only said by Lemon, but I wanted to ask if you knew the history behind it. Do you happen to know why the meme is that you're a first-time Sugoi player? I don't know if you know that meme that's spreading, but...
I don't know where this came from. I think Lemon just kind of went with that. I don't know. I think it was in some event he just started saying like, yeah, he's doing pretty good for his his first run or whatever, and I guess it.
Oh my god,
stuck
was that
on
the
his
first
head.
time you said it?
I don't know. I mean, I know that there's also the fact that he's quite upset at the fact that I have the Sugoi world records when he does not. But you know.
Damn. That would do it, I think. I mean, hey, Lemon, you put in that grind, and you might be the first time Sugoi speedrunner refrag, Oh, that's great.
But obviously we love Lemon, and yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, obviously you've been around for a long time. What would you give, like, advice for new speedrunners for this game?
I mean, whenever you're doing some speedrunning, I guess you can always like set some goals and everything. But I would say remember to just have fun, right? Because at the end of the day, like even if you're grinding and stuff, yeah, but remember to not just, I don't know, let yourself burn out with like speedrunning and stuff. Because I know it can happen pretty easily. And yeah, I mean, regarding SRB2 specifically, I guess get familiar with the movement of the characters, and yeah, then you can also watch for Sonic. You can watch Lemon's tutorials on the levels.
Yeah.
On how to go fast.
And once you watch the 5 tutorials that he's made, you can force him to make some more,
Exactly. No, but I think with SRB2, it's mostly the movement that counts, because there's not a lot of glitches, obviously. So yeah, I would say try to get really familiar with the movement, and yeah, grind some ILs, have fun with the game, mostly.
Yeah, for sure. I think once you get... Because a lot of newer runners, they really want to, be the fastest or whatever. They've got it in their head that, okay, I'm not as fast as the top runners, but I think any top runner will tell you once they get to that stage, it becomes a whole lot less fun, to be honest.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like this pressure, like, oh no, they're gonna see that I'm just a scrub at the game, even though you're like the top percentile of the game.
Yeah, it really depends on, I guess, your mindset and how you're seeing it. But yeah, it can definitely quickly go to that stage where you feel like I'm not really improving anymore. Like, why am I doing this? But that's why I nowadays when I speedrun, I try to mainly see the fun aspect in it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that's definitely the way to do it. Definitely don't compare yourself to other people. And
yeah,
I think we added in the Discord, we added these roles. They were like the expert and master roles, and they were sort of like these little benchmarks to aim for, without being like, okay, just get the world record, bro. It was like, here's some like achievable sort of targets you can set yourself to know you're roughly on the right page. I think those are quite nice, because a lot of people definitely wonder with this game, like, oh, am I doing okay? Am I on the right track? And I think for the most part we got those times right.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who just burn out super fast once they pass their initial goals, and it sucks to see.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably happened to a lot of top runners anyway, me included. Like,
yeah, and not just for this game either. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we've been talking about Sonic Adventure DX. Like, as much as I love this game, it's tough, man. And I've grinded this game for so long that nowadays it's a bit hard to have fun on the game while speedrunning it. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Sonic Adventure is such a hard game as well. Like, it's one of them games that's definitely easy to play, but once you're at the top level as well, it's just there's all these tiny optimizations, and I don't know how some of you hit them. It's just crazy, honestly. So when you were playing SRB2 and all of your time with speedrunning, was there ever like a moment that really stuck out to you? Were you ever like, okay, like this, I'll remember this forever?
Speedrunning in SRB2, I mean, there's a lot of moments that are just really memorable, you know? But
yeah, like what?
I don't know. I mean, just I guess when you get some sick PBs, obviously, like that's always hype. But also, just the really cool times with the community, you know, when
Yeah,
there's new world records or whatever, or just when we're having some fun and just watching some silly clip of I don't know, for example, someone dying and their game just crashes.
oh my god.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Or
I've not heard from them since, honestly. They've just
Yeah.
gave up with the game.
Or maybe when Lemon just I don't know, messes up and goes, "Oh, but also, as Lemon is saying, definitely when we got to ESA, like that was actually so sick. So yeah, in case some people weren't around or something, we did actually do a race with Lemon on the European Speedrunner Assembly Summer 2024, and it was super cool. It was personally my first time going at a IRL speedrun event, and like the run was cool, sure, but what was the best thing about this event was probably just all of the interactions we've had, like off stream and stuff. It's just such a good time, you know.
Yeah.
Being IRL, it's so different than just talking online.
Yeah, I think that would be just the greatest, you know, to meet someone that you've been chatting with and having these fun little rivalries with for all this time, and, you know, just being face to face. It must have been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, we weren't there for long, but for the few days that we've been here, we've definitely made some really good memories.
That's quite a nice one. I like that, yeah. And I think, was it Argic commentating that run as well?
Okay, so Argic was originally supposed to be here, but he... I mean, there's been some, I guess, some drama regarding ESA, and so we decided to not really go to that event.
That was, yeah. I heard bits of this, but yeah.
But I mean, even then, like, it was still a really great time. We had Sly Sonic do the commentary for the run. And
that was right.
yeah, I mean, obviously it's not gonna be the same thing as our gig, but you know, it's still really good, and we had a really good time, and I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah, Sly Sonic, you know, that it's like if you took Argic and made him English and not as fast speaking, you know, it's almost the same thing, really.
Sure, I guess we can say it like that. That's an interesting one, but okay, yeah, sure.
No, I think Sly Sonic did do very well, because if I remember rightly, he didn't what's the word? He didn't like know that much about the game beforehand.
Yeah, we basically kind of had to teach him like on the spot, but no, either way, like with the little knowledge that he had, we're able to make it a good, entertaining run, and I think that's all that really matters. Like, it's not that big of a deal when you're on a big marathon to go into all of the details. It's also about just making it entertaining, you know?
Yeah, and it was definitely that, even though I forgot who commentated it at first. But I did remember as soon as you said it was Sly Sonic, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this. No, that's for sure, like, definitely the right thing to take away from this. I think a lot of people think that their analysis has to be, like, really technical, and it's like, nah, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, it can also be a good thing. It depends on what kind of style of commentary you want to go for. I guess it depends on the event, depends on the run, depends on a lot of things, and just make it entertaining, I guess.
Oh, for sure. All right. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Obviously, back in 2.2, you were at the top, like, very early on. You and Lemon, I think, were, like, constantly trading first place. What was that like? Because obviously there wasn't exactly resources for the game or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, once again, like, that period when 2.2 released, and then Lemon coming along to speedrun the game, it's just been, I don't know, it's been such a big change, because what we are doing with Lemon is basically we're just doing races all the time, and we will VC and everything, trying to, lower our times, find some new strats, and it was just such a vibe. It was really good.
Yeah. Basically, just racking up SRL points. Yeah, I understand.
But it's true that we didn't have any resources, obviously, because the game just came out. But the thing is, there's so many people that joined the SRL2 speedrun community with 2.2 that we were able to find the strats really quickly. It's a community effort. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the thing nowadays as well. Like, you definitely have so many top tier runners that, yeah, there's just so many people who are able to help nowadays. But it must have been exciting though, being one of the first like runners and sort of discovering everything as it came out.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I remember, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I remember that this period was probably like the one where I made the most views on YouTube, because the game was so new and stuff. Like, people would always discover, they would discover 2.2 and maybe they would search for speedruns. And since we were like one of the first ones to start, yeah, it's actually kind of crazy how much people got recommended these videos. And yeah, it was also a pretty big boost for the game, I think. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, I can see that. To be honest, that's one of the most annoying things personally about YouTube, is you'll do these runs and you'll like spend all this time improving your run, and then YouTube will just keep promoting like the run that you did before.
Yeah. No, I mean, personally, like, I respect people that do content creation around speedrunning, like, actual, I guess, professional content creation, whatever. But I just couldn't, man. I don't know, it's just not for me. And I don't really know how they do it, and they're able to, get views and stuff. So yeah, I really admire these content creators, I think.
Well, I think people like Smallan, I remember in the past they had said that what they do is they'll like have an idea for like what they want their video to be, and then they'll stream, and the title of the video, like the title of their stream will be like what their YouTube video is going to be. So they already have everything in motion, and then he can just kind of edit that down into a video. But I think these people have like thought about it well in advance. It's definitely a lot of effort that goes into it. There's some questions in chat, by the way, about your Unleashed gameplay. They were asking, why is he walking around during the stage end credits? Is he stupid?
Okay, so in Sonic Unleashed, what you just saw was the XP glitch, and it's a bit weird, but basically you touch the goal ring and then you do some weird stuff, and the game, I don't know, lets you walk during the result screen. And if you do that, you can trigger the result screen multiple times. And if you upgrade the levels during that, they keep getting back to what they used to be when you finish the level. So you basically get infinite XP. So that's why we do that. And yeah, it's a bit weird. It looks weird. And if you listen to it as well, you're gonna listen to the music being like played 10 times or something. So yeah, it sounds pretty funny, but that's how it works, I guess.
Yeah. No, for sure. I was always not concerned. I was always curious why you've never used the glitch earlier, because I think you fight other bosses before this point, but you do the glitch a lot later in the run.
I think it's only really possible here because the goal ring is close to like the death pit and whatever. So that's why it's really done here, because I think it's really the only place where it works. And also it's a good point in the run to upgrade the XP, the levels. So yeah.
That makes sense. And there's no real reason to like get max level in anything though.
Yeah, nah. The thing is, when you do this XP glitch, you are gonna need, so in Sonic Unleashed, you how do I say this? Basically, when you upgrade some skill, you need like, I don't know, 5 levels, 10 levels, 15 levels. And the thing is, you do actually need to have these levels when you do the XP glitch. So you can't just max everything out, because otherwise you would need like 99 levels of XP.
Right.
And do the XP glitch with that. But if you did that in a 90% speedrun, you wouldn't save any time. You would lose like 10 hours probably.
Yeah, just getting the XP. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, so a little sidetrack, but I guess because someone mentioned it, I thought definitely interesting to hear about.
Sure.
Speaking of Unleashed, by the way, how did you get into this game? Like, this seems a bit different from the Caesars stuff.
Yeah, so basically, I think this really started when I was watching Grimmy Hunter speedrun this game. And it's just that watching a run of this game is so captivating. I don't know. Experience of this game are just so nice to look at, and Grimmy Hunter made it really entertaining as well. And so I was just watching his runs, and at some point I decided to try some stuff in the game, try something else, and then at some point I was like, okay, why don't I just try to speedrun this game for fun? And yeah, I mean, it takes a long time to learn because it is a 2 hours long run, but it's really cool when you actually know the run.
Yeah. I was going to say, I didn't know that Grimmy did it, but back in the day, I remember watching Joshua Sockeld, and he's so good at this game.
Oh, he is goated. He is absolutely goated.
Yeah, him, and there was a Japanese runner that I forget the name of now, but I remember seeing they ended like a cameo or something. Like, I don't know the name, but sadly, but I remember seeing like years ago one of the first like full game like speedruns of this game, and I was like, whoa, it's kind of crazy how fast you go.
Yeah, for real. Oh, there we go. Sharu62.
Sharu, yes, that's the one.
Yeah, this guy is also really insane. And yeah, I mean, this game is really sick to speedrun, and it's just a pretty sick game in general. And I guess the main problem with this game is the platforms. Like, it's not on PC, right?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you play the Generations mod thing.
Yeah, no, that's just not the same, you know? Like, they've been updating this mod, and I guess it's better now, but it's just not the same experience as Unleashed. And yeah, I guess to play Unleashed, you need either a PS3 or you need a Xbox 360 on your. Or you can play through emulator like I do, but it's not perfect already, you know? It's good, but there's definitely still some little things.
It's interesting how great like emulators have got, honestly. I just can't believe that we can now play a game like this at stable frame rate.
Yeah.
Alright. So obviously we'll go back a little bit. You've been speedrunning a while. Do you have any speedrunning rivals in any game? You know, do you have anyone that you're constantly back and forth with?
I mean, I guess Nixer on Sonic Adventure DX.
Ooh, yeah.
Especially when we were grinding Supersonic Story. So for a long time, this category was not really grinded or anything, and it was really unoptimized, right? And I'm not entirely sure how I got into it, but wait, I remember actually. We were supposed to do some kind of a relay race, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the supersonic part. Just to, I guess, take apart, you know? And I kind of just started speedrunning the story with that, and then I realized this story is actually kind of cool. So I started grinding it, and I actually pretty quickly got world record because it wasn't really optimized at this time, right?
Yeah.
And I guess during the years after that, I think there was like 1 year in particular where Nixer and I were like grinding this category really, really hard, and it was pretty awesome. Like we lowered it so much, and we found so many new strats, and it was a great rivalry at the time. Regarding SRB2, obviously we have to mention the Lemon versus me rivalry.
There we go. Finally mentioned Lemon. There you go. I saw you in chat.
It is obviously like a friendly rivalry, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just been so good when 2.2 released, and we did a lot of races, and we were able to improve our times. And this is all because of this rivalry mainly. Like we're able to motivate ourselves to just keep grinding the game.
It's really good because when we asked Lemon the same question, he actually mentioned yourself, said he definitely improved a lot more than he thought he would just because of that rivalry. So it's good to see that like you both think that.
Yeah.
Also, it might sound a bit weird to anyone listening in. Like, how was this 3-minute category of Sonic Adventure not optimized? But a lot of things were discovered for the Supersonic story. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was also, I guess, back in the day. So it was in 2018, right? So speedrunning, it was pretty developed, right? But it wasn't, I guess, as developed and optimized as it can get nowadays. So I guess that's how it happened.
Because I think back in the day, like people weren't really getting sub 1 minute perfect chaos, so that was a lot of time saved there.
The main thing about Supersonic is also mainly that people thought it was just a shit category and nobody wanted to play it. It was also mainly that, so I guess that's also why a bunch of strats weren't found and optimizations and all that.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, again, it's such a short category, and I think a lot of people, myself included, very Sonic story pilled, so not that much interest. But a lot of people have picked it up recently.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see more people picking it up. it's kind of like, okay, it's not really the same, but it's a little bit like Super Mario Bros. Any percent, right?
Yeah,
It's a
like
bit shorter, but yeah, it's similar, I guess.
yeah. Speaking of that game, I think only recently it got another world record, and
Yeah, I
those
saw that.
those records are crazy. You know, they take it by like centisec, like tiny bits of times it is, and I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's definitely really crazy to see, but I think this also comes from the fact that it's a 2D game and that it has a bunch of stuff like we all know the cycles. What are they called again? The frame rules or something?
Oh yeah, something like this. Yeah, so it can only go so fast and all this.
Yeah. But I mean, regardless of all of this, like they are obviously super cracked at the game, and it's sick to see.
For sure. Have you ever thought about running a game like that?
I mean, a game. I guess it depends, because when you say a game like that, like Super Mario Bros. Itself, I'm not really interested. But I did run a little bit of some 2D games. So I run VVV,
Oh yeah.
which is a bit of an indie game, but it's a pretty cool one, honestly. And I also run a bunch of Celeste, which is way more popular.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I think 2D games in general, I wouldn't say they're like easier to speedrun, but I guess they're easier to optimize. I'm not really sure why, but there's
Yeah.
something about them that just make them a bit different. And
Well, I suppose when you've only got two directions, you know, you don't have all this like variance like you do in 3D games, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely different in that regard.
Running VVV like 5Vs and Celeste, by the way. Have you ever thought of like running Super Meat Boy? Because that's like definitely on the same sort of, you know. I definitely like those games.
Well, I mean, I did run a little bit of Getting Over It, which I guess is in the same fashion as a Super Meat Boy in a way.
Oh, Getting Over It, oh my goodness.
But honestly, I just stopped really quickly because I wasn't having any fun and I was just molding all the time.
Just had to get over it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I couldn't run any games like that. There's people running games like that, and I want to be the guy, and those people just need therapy the most.
I mean, I guess it really depends on the game, but I remember, especially for me on Getting Over It, I was just not having fun at all on the game. So yeah, it was mostly because of that, I think.
Yeah, so sometimes the rage bait kind of games like that and like Meat Boy, they can be fun. I remember running a little bit of Meat Boy and thinking it was fun, but yeah, if it's just not vibing with you, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
So you've not ran this game in a while, but have you seen all the sub 20 speedruns that have been coming in for Sonic Story?
Sub 20?
Yeah, we've had one from K84 and now Vibes taking the world record back.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay. You said Sonic Story, I was like...
Oh, yeah.
Is he speaking about Sonic Adventure
not
DX?
Adventure DX, yes.
Oh, no. Obviously, I've seen the sub 20s by KT and Vibes, the absolute goals. And even if Lemon didn't get sub 20 yet, and even if he doesn't get it, he's still the fucking goal because, you know, it's Lemon.
For sure. But speaking of goats, we're asking about you, gamer. Do we think we're going to see a Refrag return for the for that sub 20?
For now, I don't really want to, but I mean, only time will tell, I guess. race me, bro, Lemon. Look, I don't know, man. Once again, like as I've said before, for me it's mostly about having fun nowadays. And I mean, SRH 2.2 would still definitely be fun, but the thing is, I'm pretty happy with my run, and I feel like I don't wanna get frustrated at the game, basically.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you're gonna like stop running, it's good to leave it on a high note. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lemon, by the way, you've mentioned Lemon a lot in this interview. How did you two end up like getting into contact? Because it seemed like you two just hit it off like really quickly out of nowhere.
I mean, yeah. Once again, it's when 2.2 released. It's when I guess we got into doing these races and optimizing the game, but I'm not sure how that really happened. I'm not entirely sure what was like the start of everything. It was probably Lemon that was like, wanna do some races or something. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
it could be something like that.
that's how like the greatest of friendships were started.
Yeah.
I remember that with Sonic Adventure DX back in the day. Me and my friends used to just like play just races on SRL all the time, and a lot of those races were like, do you want to reset, bro? Because we lost the run like in the first split.
sure.
Yeah. Those were
I mean,
the
the thing about speedruns live and the run.gg nowadays is like, if you mess up, you just cannot restart. But when we're racing with Lemon, it's kind of just whatever. We're just kind of having fun, you know. So
yeah.
usually we do get a few restarts in, even during the race, because yeah, it's funnier that way, right?
It is, and honestly, like a lot of people watching are like tisk, but like you'll end up doing it too, bro. Trust.
Yeah.
You two are quite close. You ended up making the Robobot. What was the story behind that?
So it was Lemon that started it originally, and I think, I mean, he talked about this during his interview as well, but yeah, I think he just wanted to well, you know, pull some data from speedrun.com, and since he didn't really mess with the speedrun.com API, and he knew that I did a bit of it, he was like, maybe you know some things to help me. And yeah, then I got a bit more interested, and I wanted to add some new things to the bot as well, I guess.
Yeah, was there like an inspiration for helping? Like, did you have like a vision when you were like creating it? Like, oh, it could be this giant thing.
I mean, okay. We've had a bunch of moments with Lemon, and even today when we're like, we want to create this big thing or whatever, and you know, it's always these kind of dreams that you have, and I think it's good to have this kind of dream in your mind because you can work towards it. But having those complete like projects. What? Oh, talking.
It's okay. English is hard. I understand.
Having these projects completely finished is about other things, and yeah, there's a bunch of things with Lemon that we started and we kind of never finished. But I don't know. I mean, it's fun. It's also fun to just start something and, you know, mess around with it, and you still learn some stuff from it, and maybe later you're gonna use that knowledge to do something greater.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was obviously we did ask Lemon the same question when we interviewed him, but it's always nice to hear yourself, you know, how you got into it and stuff.
Yeah.
But you have quite an interest in stuff like, is it computer science?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess this gets like a bit more personal, but I've kind of been interested in computers in like, I guess forever, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what kind of things I wanted to do with computers, but it's actually with speedrunning that I discovered programming, and it was at the time when I was dabbling into what's the name of the game again? Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to see if I could make an auto speeder for it, and with the help of other people like Sora and Turtle Chuck. Well, I guess we started getting something working in, doing some auto speeder stuff. Is how I got into programming originally, and I didn't understand anything at the time. But eventually I don't know, I did also make an auto speeder for SRB2.
Yeah.
And then after that I kind of just wanted to try some other things, and eventually I started going a bit out of my comfort zone and learning stuff from that. And at some point I just started doing bigger things, I guess, and that's how that happened. And nowadays I'm in school, like actually studying computer science, and hopefully
you
working
hadn't.
That. Yeah.
You did all that before you even like studied it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, originally, I guess, like when I was doing speedrunning at the time, I was just in some kind of general degree or whatever you would call it. I don't know how the French education system gets translated in other countries. Like, it's weird, but anyway, I didn't know what I wanted to do basically, and so that's what happened. And then during my time speedrunning, I did figure out that programming is actually something that I really enjoy, right? And it's really it's been pretty recently that I figured that's what I really want to do with my career. So I guess that's why it took such a long time. And also, I mean, there is also a big other thing is that I had a pretty bad period during. It literally started like right before COVID, and I basically, I mean, it was some kind of, I don't know. It was, I went through a depression phase basically for like a few years, which didn't quite help because I wasn't really studying anymore, and so it's only really recently when I got back into school that now I'm doing computer science.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of the story, kind of like really summed up.
I get that, honestly, because you know, let's be honest, it sucks not really knowing what you want to do, you know, in your life, and I was definitely there even recently. So it is decent though that you managed to find this out really early. I was going to say, by the way, props to you. If you were ever in doubt if like this was where you were meant to be in life, like literally anytime I ever asked you a question like to do with computers or whatever, I was never like, oh, this guy doesn't really know what he's talking about, but I'll ask him. No, you knew. You're so good at what you do, honestly. So yeah, I definitely think that's the right place for you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I'm not really sure what to say to that, but yeah, I mean, thank you. And also, I mean, I see the hearts in the chat. Thank you to everyone, obviously, because I usually don't really talk about it much, especially on stream, but during this big like depression period that I have, I mean, I guess speedrunning was kind of my escape, and a lot of people, including you, Carp, including Lemon, including a lot of people, just helped me get through this period, like way more nicely, and I guess helping me sometimes when I was not feeling too good. And yeah, I mean, for that I do have to thank everyone that just been around or helped in general during that period, because it really means a lot.
I understand that. Honestly, I think when you think about it, sometimes it feels like, only you are having this issue, or, like it's literally just isolated to only you. But, if you were to ever ask anyone, you'd probably find that so many people are sharing in your experience.
Yeah, you're right. And especially, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into this, but it does seem that it's getting more common as well nowadays.
Yeah, you definitely hear about it a lot more, but that could be a good thing as well. People just a bit more comfortable to open up and get that help from friends and stuff, which is definitely what I'd recommend.
I think it's good to know that you're not alone in these kind of situations, and have some good support group.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you for that, by the way. That was... You love to hear a good outcome from stuff like that, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, you've been around for a while, by the way. You've been around Caesar. Have you used a bunch of your stuff that you've learned for Caesar projects?
I mean, yeah, obviously. I like to think when I do some programming stuff that pretty much it's gonna be useful no matter what, right? Even though it's some project that's not finished, it is something that can always be useful and can learn from it, And Caesar definitely helped with that, because I mean, we did a bunch of tooling and everything, and just not even regarding the programming aspect, but Caesar in general, even though I'm not really that involved in it anymore, I think it's been a really cool channel to be involved in, because you learn a lot about like event organizing.
Oh yeah,
a lot of stuff like that, and I think it's just a really good experience overall.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always see, I know nothing about programming, by the way, just so anyone listening, but every day, or every week I should say, I see people posting, "Oh, Refrag, have you updated the Caesar box?" And I have no idea what they're talking about, but you're always updating this box,
Yep.
Whatever that is.
I mean, it's just a server technically, but I'm not really sure what you're talking about when you're saying this. Actually, it's very interesting that you mentioned that.
Oh, I don't know. I just see these messages now and then, and I'm like, what are they asking? Like, I don't think I've ever interacted with whatever they're talking about, honestly, but yeah, I see them say it all the time, and, obviously you're a big part of that, because I don't think many other people work on whatever it is either. Not like the Valve, no, not like Valve. That's the orange box. Yeah. Speaking of Caesar, by the way, how did you get into working with Caesar?
So Caesar started. Yeah, I did actually put that in my notes. The Caesar channel actually got its first event in November 2021, and it was a Sonic Story tournament. And so I've never really been a mod of Sonic Adventure DX or anything, but I guess I am friends with mods and stuff, and I just thought I would help a little with all of the organization of the event, because I mean it was a Sonic Story tournament. I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
And I guess I helped with running the original Caesar event, and since then, the channel kind of took off, and I tried to continue to help around, and I guess that's how it happened. I kind of like one of the OGs of Caesar, in a way.
I think so. You were there before I even knew what it was, to be honest. Also, talking about being there, do you want to tell the chat about your brief moment of being the owner of Caesar?
Oh, that's right. I do actually have proof that at some point I was the owner of Caesar.
Yeah.
But thankfully it didn't last long, because I did not want to have this responsibility. Yeah, I just kind of gave it off to some other experienced member. I mean, that was already a mod. Anyway, pretty funny anecdote, I guess.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, so the previous person who was, because obviously one person has to have like the ownership of a server, right? The person at the time was Seafood, and they left. They were just like, okay, I'm just going to give it to Refrag. And Refrag had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But I didn't even know. And then one day I realized, wait, why do I have this crown on my username?
Yeah, because I was joking about you being the king of Caesar, and I don't know, you must have thought I was just chanting gibberish, and then you looked and you were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny, honestly. I was sort of jokingly funny. Like, you should just give it to me, but I also don't want that responsibility. Oh, that's funny. Speaking of, by the way, Caesar, obviously it's comprised of like a bunch of speedrunning games that were from the Sonic Adventure era. So like Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow the Hedgehog, Heroes, and is there any others? Sonic 06.
Oh my god.
I feel like there's another one.
I was kind of just looking at chat, and I didn't really process your question.
Oh yeah, no, I was
what
saying
are the games in Caesar?
No, I'm saying there's a bunch
right?
there is a bunch of them. I was saying, like, it's comprised of like all the games of the sort of early 2000s time frame. But do you have like a favorite amongst them? Because I know that you also have ran Sonic Adventure 2, right?
Yeah, I did. But we don't talk about that because I am not a fan of the speed. I'm not a fan of the speedrun. I'll just say that. But yeah, I mean, my favorite. Okay, it's hard to pick because SRB2 is technically, I guess, Caesar Plus.
Oh yeah, that's right. If anyone doesn't know, Caesar also tried to incorporate like a few games that were like around the same time that were kind of adjacent to the theme of Caesar, and so that included like Billy Hatcher, includes the Project 06 mod, and SRB2, which was very, very fun for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would still have to go with Sonic Adventure, because there's just been a lot of really cool Sonic Story tournaments. And obviously there's been a bunch of SRB2 tournaments on Caesar. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess the fact that there hasn't been as many SRB2 events, I feel like the SADX events stick a bit more to my head. But I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely been some really sick events on Sacer regarding SRB2. But the thing is, there's also a lot of sick events that are even better sometimes on this channel. So, you know.
Whew. Nice little community shout out there. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
I'll send you your money after the live stream. I'm joking.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, SADX has a lot to it. And you don't just speedrun Sonic there. I know that you've run quite a bunch of the other characters as well.
Yeah, I basically dabbled into every story of the game just because, once again, like, I mean, I'm a big fan of this game and, you know, I couldn't just stick to a Sonic story. Even though, I mean, nowadays, okay. The thing is, I have a pretty tough relationship with Sonic Story
Yeah.
during these recent years, because there has been a particular escape that has been found, and it's very annoying. But other than that, I mean, Sonic Story, you know, it's, I guess, still the most important story of the game, right?
I feel that.
Even though I've run the other stories. I mean, the story that I like speedrunning the most on this game has got to be Supersonic Story anyway, because, I mean, I did grind this category quite a lot, and even though people don't like it, I don't know, I really like that category.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people generally stay away from like the longer speedruns, because if you don't know, by the way, Sonic Adventure DX has some categories which are like 10 minutes long, right? Like most of them, actually.
Yeah.
But Sonic Story, you know, it's like 30 minutes that you're going to be dedicating to this one speedrun. So it's funny how like popular it is, but it's a really fun category. Do you have any Caesar games that you've not ran, like Shadow or 06, that you have considered running?
So I have actually run Sonic 06 a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
I have never run or played Shadow the Hedgehog. I have never played Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you should run Sonic %. Yeah, that was the most recent tournament on there for Shadow. It's actually quite interesting if you ever played like Sonic Heroes. It's got that really fast acceleration. So you might be interested in it if you liked Heroes, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think Heroes is a pretty good one. I did also do like a few speedruns of it, but I never really pushed it too much. But I do think the game is cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's just a shame how much time you lose from like simple deaths in that game, though.
Yeah.
But that's not the case necessarily for like Shadow, because the categories are like really short. So if you ever were to get into it, very, very fast speedrun.
Yeah, I mean, usually when I speedrun some game, I do like to at least you know, play it casually like one more time before I speedrun it. But I mean, I don't really know. I should just play Shadow casually. And speaking of, I've also not played the new Shadow Generations game. And
same. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I've also seen that it's pretty expensive. Like, I know this is going a bit off topic, but
oh no,
what really bothers me with this game is that it's like $60, and the thing is, you get a remake of Sonic Generations.
Yeah,
but I don't really care about that because I already have the game, and it's essentially the same thing, right? But I still have to pay for the whole thing, so it's a bit annoying.
I feel like that's how
why...
I feel that's how future Sonic games are going to go. They're just going to keep adding on extensions to Sonic Generations, because it was the last good Sonic game. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Frontiers fans. It was just a joke. Yeah, but I've heard good things about that game.
Yeah.
So obviously this game playing in the background for everyone to watch, it's Sonic Unleashed, just a much longer speedrun than what you would typically do. Do you think you more so enjoy these kind of longer speedruns, or are you more into the sort of shorter ones like Sonic Adventure and SRB2?
Originally, I was definitely more into the shorter categories. And I think it's actually when we did the 200 Emblems race with Lemon that I really started to feel like I can actually do these kind of longer categories, And yeah, there was also a pretty stupid one, but I did a bunch of Supersonic Centurion.
Oh.
Which is basically you do Supersonic Story in Sonic Adventure DX 100 times.
Oh my god, 100?
And you're probably like, surely it's not that long since it's just a 3 minutes category. Well, it's actually 6 hours.
Jeez.
And yeah, I guess it was some stupid challenge that we did. I think it was with Nixer that we did that originally, and with Yoshi Puff maybe. And yeah, once I did this run, I actually did, I think, a couple of these, maybe 2 or 3. And once I did this run, I was just like, I don't know, longer categories just, it wasn't the same anymore. It was like, it's whatever. Like, I've done a 6-hour speedrun. I can actually just go for longer speedruns in general, like it's not actually that big of a deal. I feel like it's kind of a skill that you have to train, just like you would train some things in speedrunning, it's just some endurance.
I get that. Yeah, because I remember when I did my first run and it was like over an hour. Well, it was supposed to be that length. I don't mean like when I ran Sonic Adventure and it was over an hour, and it definitely shouldn't have been that long. But the first speedrun that was supposed to be about an hour's length, I was like, oh wow, this was quite hard on me personally. I definitely prefer the shorter runs, but that's cool, like that you realized just doing all this stuff for fun, like, oh, you really enjoyed this longer length.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit of a different mindset that you gotta have when you play these longer categories. But yeah, I guess you're not gonna be like optimizing as much the speedruns, right? But you can still have a pretty good time and still optimize the game quite a lot, even though it's not gonna be as optimized as a shorter category.
Yeah,
there's also
I was gonna say there's some speedrunners out there like Squeaks, who does Sonic Adventure 1, and he does this quite interesting like way of practicing where he'll do like a ×20 on like each split just to like practice, and I think that's such a good way of doing it, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. It can definitely be a good way.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess when you've done like Sonic Adventure 2 Centurion, you're a bit like, okay, it's not going to take that long to do a Centurion of other games, because I think the Centurion's like an hour and a half or something. But yeah, 6 hours, yeah. That's like, yeah, because you don't realize like when you're doing like Knuckles and Rouge ILs, like they're less than a minute every time.
Yeah, and the thing with this also is that Supersonic Story is a pretty hard category on the hands, because there's a lot of cutscene skip, and in this game you have to spam the start button, and also you have to tap spin dash all the time, so it is pretty hard on the hands. And doing that for 6 hours,
oh, for sure,
kills you. But yeah, it also feels good when you're done. You know, you're like, oh my god, I did it! Yes.
I'll definitely try it one day, just to kill my hands. Did anyone ever figure out why that cutscene skip happens? Because I don't think there's any other like that in the game.
I'm not really sure exactly. I know that it only works if you're going into the cutscene in a ball form. If you're not, it's not gonna trigger this glitch.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, I don't think we've ever quite figured out like why it exactly happens. It only really happens here, as far as I'm aware. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes that I would really like to skip in that game, but that one's the only one. So random.
I mean, this game is jank.
Yeah, it's quite funny because back in the day there was a big contention with Sonic Adventure because if you ran on a higher FPS than 60, the game would also go slightly faster. And a lot of people didn't realize this for a long time, so there's not a lot of people who are only used to playing on that FPS just because that's just what they were doing back in the day. It's so funny to see it catch up all these years later. So this game obviously being as long as it is, like, did you have any major hurdles that you had to get over with like learning it and getting used to the, you know, doing a strat that's not going to ruin a run that's like 2 hours long and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main struggle while learning this game is the route, because, well, I mean, I guess we will talk more about it next week, because I will actually be spearrunning Sonic Unleashed in the Anything But Vanilla event. But you have to collect a lot of yeah, you have to collect a lot of medals along the way in order to finish the game, and I mean, it's hard because you have to find the route that doesn't really lose you time, and at the same time, you know, I mean, have to find a good route.
Yeah,
and then you have to learn that route.
And
yeah,
because I think there's technically faster ways to do some of the stages, but because you have to like route in some of them medallions, you're slightly slower as a result.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a question in chat, what your opinions of Sonic Frontiers were.
So, my opinion is that it's definitely not the best Sonic game or anything, but it is the best Sonic game that we've had in quite a bit, right?
I think so. It was an interesting game when it came out.
Especially when you compare to the previous game, which was Sonic Forces. I actually, because I was checking some time periods earlier to see like when I started speedrunning or whatever. I did a let's play of Sonic Forces, and literally I had 3 streams that were like 3 or 4 hours in total, and I did like not the entirety of the game, but like the 80% of the game in those like 3 or 4 hours, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a short game, and I don't know. I think it was just kind of a flop, you know.
I remember thinking when I first played that it was really fun, but like I don't know what it is. Like it very quickly just wore off. It had I don't know. I think that there was something lacking. You felt really slow after a while, especially on some of the cyber stages. I found that it felt a little bit slow. You know, until you get like all the upgrades, because a lot of the speedruns are done with all the speed upgrades and stuff, aren't they?
I haven't really followed with the new speedrun routes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I do think you do have to upgrade a few things, yeah.
Yeah, because I think there were upgrades. I'm not too sure how much it does impact your speed and stuff, but I remembered it being an issue. I remembered a lot of people were there was like the second cyber stage. The time that you needed to get an S rank was like stupidly close to the time that you could get.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it's been a good improvement on Sonic Forces, so I think that's why I have this opinion. Is that I think it is going in some kind of right direction.
I think
You
so.
know?
And I think the Shadow game, with everything that everyone said, is definitely going in that direction as well. Which you love to see.
Yeah. I'm still not a fan of the, like, as I've said, the fact that it's bundled with like the Sonic Generations remake.
Yeah.
But I mean, apparently the game is good, so that's good. You know, what I want at the end of the day is just to get some Sonic games that we can enjoy and just have fun with, you know, and maybe speedrun as well if we really enjoy the game.
No, I agree. And I think I think the speedruns, like the people who speedrun that game, definitely are enjoying the because I think it got like a DLC to add Tails and Knuckles or something.
Oh yeah, Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, there's been quite a bunch of updates.
Yeah, I think those people are really enjoying it. And the people I know who speedrun the Sonic X Shadow Generations, they're really eating well, it seems. So
good.
on top of Unleashed, which I think is the most recent new game that you've been speedrunning, have you got your eyes on any other speedruns?
So currently, I have been pretty busy with just IRL stuff, which is why I haven't really been around too much. I've not really been speedrunning all that much.
Yeah.
However, I'm not gonna reveal it because I think it's gonna be I'm not 100% sure still, and I think it's good to keep the surprise. But I do have one thing I want to grind.
Ooh.
Pretty soon.
It's SRB2 sub 20, guys. I'm kidding.
It is not SRB2 sub 20, but it is something regarding SRB2.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm excited now. You've caught my interest.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be really exciting. It's going to be awesome to see more Refrag on the screen.
Yeah, and then actually I realized that I don't want to do that, and I end up not doing it. Imagine.
Yeah, but when I upload this to YouTube, they'll hold you to that. They'll follow you.
I shouldn't have said anything.
It's like that, honestly. I'm all the time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna learn this speedrun, and then I end up just watching YouTube videos. No, that's really fun. And now I asked the other guests, and now I've got to ask you very controversial question. Could get you cancelled. I hope you're ready. There was a bit of discussion, okay, amongst the community of the possibility of them changing Sonic's ability to something else. What are your thoughts on this?
My original thoughts on this was it's over. No, but my original thoughts on this were not good, and I was worried, right? But as we've mentioned earlier, I think some good things can replace the current Sonic movement with, for example, MRC Sonic.
Yeah, MRC's Sonic was pretty interesting, eye-opening, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, but no matter what happens, what I'm thinking is that it's Sonic Team Junior. When you think about it, like, they've always done a pretty incredible job with the release of 2.1. It was already super good, and then when 2.2 released, like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was like fucking mind blown, man. Like that was an amazing release. And so I think, I mean, we can still doubt what they're gonna do, right? But I think we have to see when it actually comes out. If it does, I don't know, maybe in the next like 10 years. But, you know, I think we just have to trust them. And even if it turns out not being good, I mean, as we've seen all of these years, I mean, it's a game that everyone can mod and do anything they want with it, right? So
yeah, that's for sure. I think one of my problems with it, not problems, I suppose, just opinions. Like a lot of modded characters feel a bit too powerful, you know? Like you get a bit too much speed for doing nothing, and I think my biggest concern is like a Sonic replacement would be like that. Like you wouldn't get like the skill that you get like nowadays with Sonic. That'd be my biggest concern. Ideally, I'd want to see the Fox stay, because you know it is cool that we have this really skilled character in the game. But yeah, I think like you said, you know, that it's over. I definitely felt like that at first, but you know, mods like MRCE definitely sort of opened my eyes. Like, okay, no, this could still be something great. So
yeah,
you know, this is. You know, keep out hope, gamers, if you're out there.
Yeah. Also, I will just answer this random question from Mr. Idiot. I got my profile picture from the game Speedrunners.
Ooh.
And I don't know if many people know about this game, but I mean, you can find it on Steam. It's probably still on there. Like, it's pretty much dead nowadays, but it's such a sick game. And fun fact, I mean, it's pretty funny that it's called Speedrunners, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't even into speedrunning at this time at all. And I guess it's kind of just fate. Also, another fun fact is that it is literally the first game I bought on Steam.
Oh wow, really? That's so funny.
It is.
Maybe it was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
You love to hear stuff like that. That is pretty funny, actually. Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember you having this profile picture for the longest time, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot who just didn't know what it came from. So we had to just pretend, you know.
Right?
No, you gotta know everything these days. Don't want to get cancelled by the online critics who know everything.
Yeah.
You know who you are. No, no, that is pretty funny. And that game's pretty fun as well. I can't believe I didn't even notice it.
I mean, it's a bit modified, right? In this profile picture, I guess in the original profile picture they had of this character, it was like, I think it was pretty much taken from the game, and I just added a refrag on the top left or whatever. But
that's true. This, that wasn't in the original, yeah.
Yeah, this I guess newer one I did change some colors and some things, but I mean it's pretty much still the same thing.
No, that's pretty cool. All right, we definitely kept you here for quite a while. We appreciate how much you had to say. That was very, very interesting. Is there any shout outs you would like to give for our closing segment?
I mean, I'm gonna shout you out first because you are pretty amazing, you know.
Oh.
No, but for real, okay. I think I mean, I don't know if you want to like close right now already, but there is something I would like to mention, some period of time that we didn't really talk about, if that's fine with you.
Yeah, of course.
So it was a few months after 2.2 release. A bunch of a bunch of us, like I think it was Ors, Lemon, and I. We actually got into the mod team of the SRB2 speedrun community.
That's right.
And I just wanted to mention that because it's just been a great time being in that mod group, and we've had problems. We've had some interesting things happen, but I think just the SRB2 community in general and the time that we've had in the mod team, even though nowadays we are not really part of it anymore, it's just been a really good learning experience and just a good time all around,
Oh yeah, for sure. It's yeah, back in the day, it was quite hard to just do everything yourself, because if anyone doesn't know, I was the person who got like speedrun.com, like this game added to speedrun.com, and created this Discord, but you definitely need some extra hands and stuff to stay sane, and Refrag, Ors, Lemon, the original mod team, definitely helped with that. Goats. I just never mentioned it because, I don't know if it's like just too painful a memory, or, for some of you, because
painful memory,
because you all ended up leaving at the same time. So I was like, oh, what have I done?
I mean, that timing was unfortunate, but honestly, I think it's just that we all moved on to other things. And to be fair, at that point, I know I wasn't really invested as much as I used to be.
Yeah.
But personally, no. I mean, it's been a great time, and even today, like you keep doing like such a great job with this community in general, and I mean everything that you're organizing. It's really cool to see, and obviously with the rest of the SRB2 mod team nowadays. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that because I think it was pretty important,
Definitely appreciate that. Thank you. No, it's honestly, I care a lot about this community, even though like sometimes it feels like nothing's happening behind the scenes. I'm always sort of thinking, oh, what can we be doing? And it's just nice when you put something out there and you get people like responding to it and stuff. It really does like make my day. So yeah, thank you everyone, by the way, who's like submitted to the event. And speaking of the event, you can use !sign up, and the sign-ups are any game but the base vanilla SRB2 game. Or you can still play mods, like a mod pack or something, but just not the main campaign. We've seen that a lot. Nah, but yeah, we didn't do much back in the day, but I think going back to Caesar and stuff, I remember when Tefis actually approached me and he said he was really interested, in seeing SRB2. And God, I remember it was crazy. It was such a crazy time. You had this huge channel approaching you, and it's like, oh, we want to see your community. And I just, I was overwhelmed. It was super wholesome.
Yeah, and it also just proves that the SRB2 community, the speedrun community, it's just great, and I think we've done a great job at promoting the game and having fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. And that was just the start of like so many great things. Like obviously when Tefis did approach us and say he wanted to see us, and I definitely got really inspired to keep this community doing stuff, because that was a great time. Because when you've got like a small game like SRB2, it's really hard to get everyone like involved with the game and stuff, because not everyone's super interested all the time. But we've seen such a increase in people playing this game since we started doing all this stuff, which is yeah.
It's definitely sick to see.
So I personally want to shout out Tefis, even though it's not my interview.
Oh no, I mean that's fair. I mean Tefis is also one of the main goats.
Absolutely. Did you have any other shout outs you wanted to give?
Well, I mean obviously I mean, I did, I guess, shout it out quite a bit, but the SRB2 speedrun community, I mean, I think it's just a great community in general, and it's definitely one of the best speedrun community I've been in, if not the best. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just nice. It's just really nice, I guess. But also, obviously, I am gonna shout out Lemon, and well, I guess we can do the list. I guess we can go for Ors vibes, and I'm gonna miss people. I'm so sorry. Everybody, you know who you are. I mean, thank you. And I'm not really sure who else to shout out, but just
Yeah. Well, I know that the obviously Simorg and stuff.
Yeah, obviously the Simorg group, even though they are not really part of the SRB2 community, they have definitely been a great friend group and a great place to be. And oh yeah, I also remembered someone else.
Ooh.
Didn't mention too much, but Nia, also formerly known as Arcania, because they've been basically the person, I would say, that helped getting Sugoi, I guess, the Sugoi trilogy and everything, getting this speedrun really started,
Yeah, I agree.
And it's been such a great time doing some strats finding on the Sugoi mod pack, and just doing some fun races and everything.
Yeah.
And even non-SRB2 stuff, like Puyo stuff that we did with Lemon as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Lemon got a few shout outs this stream, but another one for good measure, of course.
for a good measure, yeah. Also the Greenfire Hell Zone, obviously. Gotta shout them out.
Yeah, we had some of them arguing in chat earlier about something that I didn't read.
Yep.
That's just normal for them.
It is.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, again, like, just everybody, you know who you are. I just want to shout out, I guess, everybody that's watching, that has been around during the years, around the SRB2 speedrun community, and just in general, yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess those are my shoutouts.
A lot of good shout-outs. I want you to go back to Nia. She's definitely helped spread the word of this game by submitting to so many events. Yeah. Like, if there's an event, you've most likely seen her name.
Someone else I didn't shout out, but I mean, that was included in the SRB2 speedrun community. It's gonna be Argeek, of course, because Argeek has been a huge impact on, I guess, the game's popularity, right? And
yeah,
I'm sure there are probably some people here that discovered the game because of Argeek, and which I think is really cool, because this guy is he's just such a nice guy, right? Like, you see him on stream being really energetic and stuff, but he's also just such a nice guy, I feel like.
Yeah, and genuinely. It's kind of funny. A lot of people have these stories about people who are kind of higher influence, just not being like great people behind the scenes. But I have met Argeek in person, and he is like the same person. He's just that great. He's such a delight to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
No, definitely.
On God or something, yeah.
On God. Yeah. No, those are some great shout-outs, honestly. And I'm sure when they watch this back, they'll be like, oh, finally, we got the Refrag mention. And then they'll get their millions. I'm joking. No,
Mhm.
I will say it was insane to see you speedrunning this game when you did. You brought so many more strats to this game, like so many crazy strats. You were very consistent, even at the early stage, and you've been an absolute delight to speak to today. Thank you so much for this interview, Refrag.
And thank you, Carp. I was stumbling quite a bit on my words today. To be fair, I have been pretty tired recently, but
Same.
I figured we gotta do this, right? Because I think it's such a cool little concept. I mean, it's technically just, I guess, an interview, but it's not something that you often see in the speedrunning scene, I think. And yeah, I think it's cool that it's being done here.
Yeah, it was definitely a new idea, you know, to try and do something that wasn't just like a speedrunning exhibition to show off like the future event. I thought it'd be really nice to hear from, you know, the goats who made this community what it is, you know, and never undersell yourself, honestly. Anyone who was interviewed here is an absolute legend. Yeah, needless to say, of course. And yeah, deserves all the attention that they get. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Carl.
No worries. And with all that being said, if anyone's wondering what this is for, next weekend we're going to be hosting our Anything But Vanilla event, which is of course going to be any speedrun that is not the SRB2 any percent category, the vanilla any percent category. You can run a mod pack or something. But yeah, you know, just want to see what the community runs in their spare time that isn't SRB2. And yeah, we've already had some pretty crazy submissions. If you do want to sign up, submissions are going to be closed at the end of Tuesday, so you only have 3 days to get your sign-ups in. But yeah, make sure you get that, you know, all filled out properly. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this exclusive interview with such a legend in the speedrunning community. Not just the speedrun community, but many. There's a chance that if you are in a Discord server with Refrag, you'll click on his name, you'll have a mutual friend with him. I've got loads of mutual friends with him. Like, that's just the way he is.
Yeah, and I mean, you may also have a mutual server because I am in way too many Discord servers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's just how popular he is. So there's a chance you already really know who this guest is today. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone who stopped by today. Thank you, Refrag, and we'll see you all next weekend for our event. Take care.
Thank you, Carpnado. And yeah, be back next weekend, guys.